welcome to Eve Online. I'm Major Freak. Just gonna turn off my fans. There we go. Okay, so the situation is I've got a bunch of colonies that I could increase from level 4 command center upgrades to level 6 because I have command center upgrade skill to 5, and this character has max level for the upgrade on one of the planets, and I'll show you what's going on with that. And I've been expediting, transfer, and exporting the customs office, the junk that's left over. I just don't really care, just leave it there. At some point I might deal with it, but that's not the topic of this video. So, I've cleared up the silo because I want to study the inputs, but first of all, let's focus on our extractors. So I've got base metals here, I got 2, and I'll actually move this up here. I'll close this down. I think this is the only character with 1 max. Yep. Okay. Move it over here. I deleted my CCP locals file folder, so I've got everything back to default. So the default scan, it says say it's at minimum visible resource limit and the maximum. I have no idea what that means. They really worded that completely wrong. It's just nomenclature to me, because we could go like this. And that gives us green. Okay. Thanks, CCP. So for noobs, the default is this. And then when you check the other one, which is the more rare, because this is pretty decent, but the noble metals is like 1 out of who cares. Click on this. And you can barely see them. Now, the skill, and I've got it at level 1, but there are skills for actually level 0 that are based off of remote sensing. You get them at level 3 remote sensing. And you can go planetology, which technically they say increases the resolution of resource data when scanning a planet to allows for accurate blah blah blah. And you even go to Eve University, you've got that. And you go to YouTube, you try to find videos, you can't. Apparently one is assuming that... What does it do? Does it increase the visibility here? So if you're at level max, you can see a better resolution for both. That's what I've noticed. But does it do anything else? Does it increase the... Does it increase this? Does it increase your productivity? Does it help at all other than aesthetics? Quality of life? So the default wide is just, even at max level, this is just, well, I'll put it bluntly, stupid. It should have been set to the minimum. Okay. When you've got the base metals of the more common, the more dense, and it's all like this, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get a ton anyways. But to be fair, having them put it right here, like right smack on 2, and then this is level 0 planetology, right? And you open up this, and then you get a more nuanced understanding of how rare this stuff actually is. And this is the minimum too, right? So you're barely seeing the stuff, so you're like, And noobs will just go for the strongest source, but I don't go for the strongest source because sometimes the strongest source only has one option, whereas, say, this one has a bit more widespread. You need widespread, absolutely. Or go for the less common, or if you've got a lot of characters on the same planet. Yeah. Now, there we go. That's a bit better. So maybe putting it right here would help you understand the game a bit more. Let's go back to... And by the way, the command center doesn't need to be connected at all to your colony, period. Let's go back to the more dense one. See the result for that. So that's a bit more understandable. You don't really need to get it min-max. You don't have to adjust it. The difference is by 20. So you stop extraction, you move this over, but it's not like it's not really a priority for the heavily concentrated. You're going to get surplus no matter what you do, because this should be, yeah, you've got precious metal, you've got a slight overabundance of precious metals, but it's not like you have an extreme amount of precious metals. You know, you're getting an adequate amount. Now that I've done this, I'll probably get a surplus in the future. Next week, checking it, I'll get a surplus of possibly, I think it's reactive metals. I'll get a surplus of reactive metals because I've just increased it. But you're just playing min-maxing, so don't stress too much about the more dense one. It's the lower dense they have to worry about. As you can see, I've got at maximum level, I can put 6 extractors on the low density one in order to match the output of 2. And one of them wasn't optimal. More dense extractor or resource. So yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. Don't stress about it too much. Because you'll be able to see it in the output and you'll be able to adjust accordingly. But mostly it's trying to keep the silos down to a manageable level. That's your goal. Your goal is not to min-max. Your goal is to manage this silo, because this is where I put everything. All the extracted stuff goes right here. The output goes right here. I send stuff from the silo to the industry, and the only place that only other module actually producing stuff that doesn't send their product to the silo is the advanced. It's just doing the mechanical parts and sending it to the launch pad straight. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. This is what we want. And all my other stuff are level 4. I need to upgrade them. So I'm just going to just cancel, and there you go. It's back to the way it was. Perfect, fine. Don't need to screw with it. Don't fix what ain't broke in some cases, though. That's what I like doing all the time. Alright, so double click and it'll bring you to the command center. And you'll just click there and you'll upgrade, and it'll cost you 3.6 million to upgrade. Now, there's no penalty for, like, if you went to 1 and then you went to 2, and with 3, 4, and gradually increase the cost, or there's no benefit for going full maximum right away. There's no cost savings in doing that. You will incur the same cost if you're doing incremental or full. There's no cost savings for trying to jump the queue, so to speak. So I've got 2 extractors for my most dense, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems odd. How much powder I got? Wait a minute. Where's my... There it is. How much powder do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, right. I made a second extractor head. Yes, that was it. Okay. So I've got 2 extractors, each with 3. And if I went... See, here's the thing. Let's try it out. So I'll move this over here. And stop extraction. And I'll move it to where I was telling you folks to do, right between there and there. There we go. Or was it different? Where was I putting it? Was it there? No, definitely not. Right there. Yes, that's where I had it. Okay. Alright. And there. And I've made it so I don't have my colonies anywhere near my other alts. It's easy enough to do. I'll actually show you right now. So what you do is you go to the very polar, you just drag until you can't go anymore, and that's the polar region. And I'll do it for this one as well. So my colony is down here. And what you do, since the Evo preview makes this really easy. So we're looking at, right, where is it? Right there. I think. Am I doing that? Right. Have I got the right... I'm doing noble. That's noble. Right there. Yeah, that's matching. Good. There you go. And so that's where mine is, the Monin. And this is, well, kind of hard to differentiate the pronunciation. So my other alt is right there, and I'm over here. So that means I'm directly that. Which way is it? So that way, right over, yeah, to the northeast, right there. I'm to the northeast in this one. So here, I like to keep it in the corner here. So this overlaps this. And go to the top, and that's there. And so I'm this way. So this guy's to the west, this one's to the northeast, and this one's just to the south. And this one is completely different. Somewhere else. So that's how I get my stuff set up. Find your base scan, get your least dense extractor, the rare one, the noble metal. Get that up. And now he's got the same skill as the others. Nothing. And this guy's... oh! I've got them overlapping. So I've got two people. No, I don't. Oh, wait. Which one? Wrong one. Where's my guy? This. That guy. Oh, yeah. So... this guy's to the west. This one is that way? No, this one is... no. One is northeast. Far northeast. And Sherwell is just... oh, okay. So he's just... this guy's east. This guy's northeast. Nope. Yes, northeast. This guy's west. And this one is south. And that's how I split them up. I go to the pole, I get it oriented, and then I send them off to different directions to look for hotspots. And that's how one does it. So, anyways, let's get back to where I was. So this one had two extractors that we were looking at first, and we were thinking of what happens if I had all of it, like I have with Cherubel from Warhammer Mythology, Warhammer 40k. I've got all of it on one, so I've got 9 and 3. Okay. So I've got 12, whereas this one only has 8, because an extra extractor kit costs the equivalent of 4 extractor heads. And he can get away with it because it's got such a widespread area that you can plunk down stuff, but I could probably get away with this as well. And I could probably, like, but at the same time, it's too widespread out for here, so I'd rather spread it out here. And it's really concentrated here, so I can totally do it with this one instead of getting a second extractor. It's really, I think it's very subjective actually. It probably doesn't make a difference, so what we'll do is just add the maximum. And I always have it 2 weeks, because I don't feel like making this my second job. There we go. There. Here. There we go. And there. And start extraction. That's all you need to do. You don't need to have to worry about roots anymore. And add a couple more here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I can probably sneak in another. Come on. Yep. And, ooh, cool. And let's fiddle with this. Now I'm pretty sure that the higher planetology, the less you have to jiggle with this between the two scarcity models. Because I've noticed on my high skilled advanced planetology characters, I can set it to a certain range for each character, and I can use it for both types of resource. Anyways, put that there, and Start extraction. There we go. So that's quite a lot. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Why can't I get 14 over here? Huh. I don't have an extra silo. Stop extraction. Add one more? Huh. Do I suck at math? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Could it be that the... Oh, this definitely needs expediting. Could it be that the link lengths are really long and costing CPU? That's probably the reason. Yes. Go away. Alright. There we go. So it's got to be the link length because that's really long links. And this, not so much because look, it's joined at the hip. And normally if I do it, I'd save even more link length because I would... This is an old build a long time ago. What I usually do is when I put those two extractors down, I put this temporary link down and I put everything in line and then I delete that link and then connect everything together. This was back when I thought I could crunch these together and save a lot of CPU because I believe the shorter the link, I get exponentially less power or requirements for it. But that's not true at all. It's just completely linear. Thanks, CCP, morons. Anyway, so you can't... squishing them together makes it more difficult for you, but it doesn't mean you get more reward. You get my misconception. Okay, anyways. So back to the theory at hand. So the less links and the more... the less link total length you can get, the more extractors you can put down. It's kind of cool. We'll see later if it actually pans out that I'm balancing it right, but just keep an eye on your silo. Okay, I'll end it there. I'm just gonna do it for everything else. You can stop watching now. I figure I'll do the others for this planet, just so you get a concept of what's going on, and then I'll just move on to the other planets. After I finish the video. Alright. Double click. $3.6 million. Base metals. Reactive, so the base we're doing great with. Crap. Right there. And link. There. Submit. noble. Oh, darn. So I get 1. Products. Trade route. Right to there. There we go. Submit. Alright, stop extraction. Cut one of them out. What do you think? 49.50, 50. Gonna go that way without. There you go. Start extraction. $20 seconds. You can wait that long. Yeah, I just like the idea of having 2 extractor control units for one resource. It just seems more fun, you know? It gives me more options, which is, yeah, fun minigame. I'm sure it's not as efficient as cramming as much extractor heads onto one control unit, but that's not the point, is it? Okay, so add one more. Jiggle this around. 58. Where was that 58? Give me that 58 again. I want to see it. There it is. Alright, and 52, 50, oops, 58. No, no. 54, 55, 55. That'll do it. I'm sure I could go with a scan and go it that way. But jiggling saves time fiddling. And then you gotta remember where you had it and stuff like that. So keeping this at a uniform place really helps you, especially across characters too. And there we go. Since I've already got it routed, I don't need to do anything else. Submit. There you go. There. There. Awesome. And I was having was it a full? It was pretty much full. Yeah, it was pretty much full for the silo of reactive metals, so I absolutely don't need to add any more extractor heads for that. And you know what? Since I was doing so much of that, well, we'll leave it for now, because remember, we can always check back at the silo and see what's going on with that. Because I'm assuming that will, if it keeps increasing, but increases slowly, I can manage it. But if it drops, that's good. It's always good to have a minimal. You're never going to get this. There's always going to be an extra amount here, period. Always. So it's just a matter of watching that silo, seeing what's increasing, make sure it doesn't go halfway. You can ignore it right now. But yeah. That one's done. This one is done. And this one is done as well. Just confirming that because always good to double check, especially in Eve. There we go. Cool. I think I pretty much beat that horse to death. I'll deal with the other ones and leave you guys in peace.